Hey, everybody. Hey, guys. Just going to give. Hey, everybody. That's not going to work. Oh, boy. No, I'm a person who loves to start on time. But I'm just going to give a few more people some time to come in. Hey, Linda. I see you. I see you. Good night, Linda. So we are here at 8 sharp, but I won't start. Maybe just give it one more minute. And then 1 more minute?
Yeah.
Okay. One more minute.
Minute of grace.
Yes, grace. Grace. We all need some grace. ah, I see people coming in and joining us. We're excited. Excited?
Yes.
Awesome.
Answer questions.
Hmm?
Is it to answer all the questions? Like a celebrity.
Hilarious. Okay, guys, we're gonna get this party started. Hey, because if this was television, the show would have began, right? Began. Huh?
Yeah, that's a big question. It went off me.
All right. Good night, everyone, and welcome to the Banter with Bev show. I am your host, Beverly R. Williams, and listen to me. I am so excited tonight. I am happy, first of all, that you have come to join us here, that you have come to join us here tonight. But I'm super excited because I said us. It's not just me winging it tonight. I got a special guest and co-host, Miss Alaya Merced. But I'll tell you more about her. I'll get into that, uh, into more about Alaya in a minute. But first, I have something that I'm calling, well, for tonight, I'm calling it the information segment. All right. And I got my little notes with me tonight. So be patient, be patient. Um, I want to tell you guys about where Banter with Bev is headed, where Banter with Bev, where the show is headed. Okay. Now, some of you know that a few weeks, no, in January, I started with Banter with Bev. I started playing, I guess, putting my foot in the water with some Banter with Bev lives and some live recordings, a couple, maybe one or two. And then on the YouTube channel on Be Will Inspires, I now see I got my guest here tonight, and so I could get a little distracted. So y'all be a little patient with me. These this generation. But anyway, so
I got you. I can rest that
can
down.
you please rest it down?
I got you.
I'm trying to focus, y'all. Woo. So anyway, this is gonna be an interesting one tonight, as y'all can see. Party. So let me see if I can pick up my thoughts. So I started in January with putting my foot in the water with some lives, some Banter with Bev lives. I did some pre-recordings also, and I posted them to Be Will Inspires YouTube channel. Help us. Um, if you've been following the reels that I do, the short quick reels, not wheels, reels on Facebook Live. No, not on Facebook Live. On Facebook, I do some reels every week, and in those reels, you may have noticed that I talk about greatness a lot. I love talking about greatness. So, um, we're talking about where Banter with Bev is headed. Now, I believe that God created us, right, in greatness. I know that you all will believe. I mean, I know that A lot of people watching will see where I'm going with this. God created us in greatness, right? And he I truly, truly, with all my heart, co-host and guest. I'll be asking you some questions in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
With all my heart, I believe that God wants us to live, move, breathe with power, excellence, and distinction. I truly believe, and that's really what greatness is. He wants us to be the head, not the tail. Um, and he doesn't want us to settle for mediocrity. He wants us to live in exceptionality. That's what I believe. That's why on the reels, in some other videos, you'll hear me talk about greatness. And so, with that premise, I'm excited. I'm excited to introduce you guys to a series that we'll be doing here at Banter with Bev.
Mm-hmm.
And the series is called Flowing in Greatness. Yeah. Olive. Hello, guys. Hey,
Hello.
Olive. From Eleuthera, our hometown. Excellent, excellent. I think Olive on tonight for Alaya, not me. But anyway,
That's
that's
okay. That's okay. You know.
anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So listen, we're excited. We're going to be doing a series called Flowing in Greatness. All right. And so in the weeks ahead, so I need y'all to join us here, join me. It won't be a layer all the time, but join me and different guests and however God leads. Join me here Sundays at 8. And you can also catch me on Be Will Inspire's YouTube channel. I think it's on live there as well. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I think so. Okay. So let me talk more about who's sitting on the side, who's sitting on my side. It's my little twin, kind of.
I think so.
It's my twin. All right. So this is who's here? Who's in the house with mama? This is my Mib. I call her my Mib. Now, oh no, see, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me say what kind of show it'll be tonight. It's kind of a combo show.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
It's kind of something what I was dubbing free flow convo. For the past 2 weeks, if you've been watching the Banter with Bev show, you'll see that I had two powerful women who are going places, successful women. One life, Marlene Miller, health lifestyle coach. Marlene, I think I got it right. And then the visionary author last week, Aisha, wonderful. But tonight I said, hey, let's just do a little something different. And so we have like a free flow thing going on, mom and daughter.
Mm.
But we're still going to have that greatness theme, right? Because John, hey, John. Now, see, I have to act. But it's a good thing tonight is the free flow convo, right?
Yeah.
I can act little cray cray.
Mm-hmm.
John from Bermuda is in the house. Let me behave. See, that's for you again. Where's Jell and Asher? We ain't got.
That's the important one tonight. It's my night. Mm-hmm.
So she says she's the important one tonight. It's her
Mhm.
night. Don't ask what them is what she's saying. But yeah, we ain't got the studio space right now for everybody.
That's right.
But anyway, so we're gonna have the greatness theme, flowing in greatness. That's where we're going. And so the overall objective, like I say, is just to inspire, encourage, and empower. That's what this is all about. We're going to inspire one another. Every time y'all say something to me, you're inspiring and encouraging me. And we're going to use our struggles because life is full of struggles. So we're going to use our struggles to strengthen and propel us into our next level of success. Now, I think that's about it. All righty. Okay. See, it's a good thing I have notes. I had a real crazy day, so I needed my notes today. But anyway, who's next to me? Who's next to me? Alaya Merced. I call her my Mib. What is Mib?
Meat between the bread.
No, man, she ain't say that with no oomph. Meat in between the bread. And Sasha, love the free flow show. I love it too.
Thank you.
Oh, see, I'm a little sweaty. Excuse the sweat. The air conditioning ain't kicking yet. But so this is my Mib. This is our second child. Meat in between the bread. For you who have 3 children, you know how the first ones and the last ones, they like to try steal the show. So I had to let Alaya know from a long time that what is a sandwich without the meat? Nothing, right? It's not special.
Toast.
It's
Toast.
toast.
No butter,
So
nothing.
no butter, nothing, just boring. So I had to let her know from then that, hey, don't we ain't gonna have that. What is that thing they call first? Anyway, that middle
Oh, you
child
mean,
syndrome.
yeah, that's what it means.
Yeah, yeah. So we were trying to get rid of that. So let me tell you a little bit more about Alaya. Who is my MIB? My MIB is, now see, I had a lot of stuff here. Anyway, she is intelligent. She's beautiful. She's ambitious. She is in her final year, final semester at OU, University in Huntsville, Alabama, at Oakwood University. Yay, yay. In Huntsville, Alabama. She's fluent in Spanish. What else, Alea? Hobbies. Her hobbies are singing. She loves to sing, guys. She loves to write. She's working on her fiction. Your fiction is a fiction book. And she loves meeting and talking with people. She loves traveling. Yeah. She's my personal stylist, my hairdresser, and all that kind of stuff. So now, Leah, I did a lot of talking. It's your turn.
Mm.
Fill the audience in on whatever it is. Oh, hi Terry. Heart to you. So fill the audience in. Fill the audience in. Yes. On whatever it is. You have any passions? You have where you going in the future, or you just chilling? What's going on?
Um, yeah, I have had my okay. I would say my passions are. You said one, writing. I love writing.
Yes.
I could write all day.
Yes.
So that is definitely one of them, and I genuinely enjoy it. Like it's never felt like something that I had to force myself to do. It
That's
was
a
always
natural.
It was something that I was like, what do I want to fill my time into enjoy? And I was like, I want to write. So I got that from you. So writing, and then yeah. So what I want to do in the future, I'm kind of bouncing back and forth between forensic and clinical psychology or psychiatry. I ain't too sure which one. We be figuring that one out. But like playing,
reflowing.
yeah,
Reflowing with
we
that.
really flow with that one because she live right now.
Trying to figure it out.
Un poquito. But so going playing off of that, basically another passion of mine is sort of just like hearing from people and under like trying to figure out how their mind works and like how that plays a part in them as a person. Because
let me tell y'all something. When she says she likes to figure out how the mind works, y'all know that show Criminal Minds. Okay, we could move on. Sorry.
It's quality television, people. But yeah, so yeah, it's just interesting to me, like to hear people talk and hear like how they process things and why they are the way they are. But then yeah, and I think it's fun because I don't much people regularly. I ain't too muchy with people. I like to.
Now, for our viewing audience who is not from here in the Bahamas, what does it mean to not much people? You have to break that down. See, we got people listening from Bermuda. I have some people listening from the U.S. Exactly, what does I don't much people mean?
Just I don't like to be like in my personal life. I don't like to be surrounded by too many people. I enjoy people and I love people, but like I like to have my space.
Gotcha.
And I don't like to have too many things going on in my immediate surroundings.
Gotcha.
So I like to limit the amount of people that I just be having around often.
Okay.
But so probably because I can limit that, it gives me more energy to put into people individually, I think. So that I can be like have really interesting conversations one-on-one and even two on like, with more than one person. But yeah.
You could really pour into people on a personal level. Anyway, awesome. And I know you love children.
I love kids.
She loves children. In fact, before she was thinking about psychiatry or clinical psychologist. Before she was thinking about those, she wanted to be a neonatologist for a long time because she loves children so much. But then she said, I don't think I want to go that route. But this summer she'll be having her second camp in Bermuda, actually, with little kiddies ages 4 to 8. So she loves children.
10 out of 10. Yeah, 10 out of 10.
Excellent. And that's until she has her own. Anybody out there always loved Kazia. That's true. You see that?
She's so cute. Anyway,
And
she's
Eddie,
so cute.
absolutely Eddie, young women now, young women. So here we go. Now we're gonna get into it. You heard a little bit. I think we said everything about Alea. And now, audience, if you have any questions, you can ask us. You can ask us anytime, right, Lay?
Hmm.
Now we can't promise we could answer,
Hmm.
but we could try. All right.
And if the people on YouTube, they'll have to come to Facebook to ask the questions.
Oh, maybe we have to figure that out another
Yeah.
time. But for now, if you're on YouTube and you have questions, you got to try
Put it
jump on
yeah.
Facebook and get your questions in. So the past 2 weeks, Banter with Bev, right? We focus on struggles and strength of the woman. Last week, we talked to visionary author Aisha Wonderful, and she told us how she overcame her obstacles. Like she moved to the U.S.
Hmm.
As a single mother at that time, and she, that's a whole new country, and leaving a secure and lucrative career, and she became successful now as an entrepreneur. Da 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 da. And if you missed it, like I say, you can check out all these Banter with Bevs that come on Sundays. You can check it out on Be Will Inspires. Now, this week, we're going to use what we did in the last 2 weeks, and we're going to branch out a little bit. We talked about Yellow Elders. You're going to hear more about the book project, the awesome book project. I think I saw one of my authors, co-authors, Bonnie. Hey, Bonnie, I think I saw you on. Um, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the Yellow Elder Project tonight, too. Marlene, nice seeing you. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the Yellow Elder Projects. But for the past 2 weeks, uh, Lay, I
Yes.
talked a little bit even on Marlene's show. Marlene's show, I talked on her show about some of my struggles and what it took for me to get through. I talk about this is Mental Health Month. So I talked about how I have struggled for years with depression and anxiety and what it took for me to push through. And the thing about struggles, I believe that we have to learn to deal with them. You have to be intentional when you're dealing with struggles, and you have to deal with them in the right way if you're gonna be successful.
Hmm.
And because tonight, and this leads me into tonight, our topic is bloom to be great. And so we're just not talking about yellow elders this week. As you can see, I'm the yellow elder, but now we have the yellow elder in training here this week. We're just picking from the garden, the daisies, the roses,
Everybody.
everybody. Tonight is something for everybody. It's for men, women, it's for all the flowers. Because I wonder, guys out there, do we have any male? Yes, I'm sure flowers come in
Hmm.
males and females.
Hmm.
See, okay. So this show is for everybody, and so, Alea, let me start off with the questions. Well, let me just give this. The yellow elder, just for the people who are coming in. Oh, thank you. You see that, Alea? So, for the people who are just coming in, the international viewers and all that kind of stuff, listen, the yellow elder is our national flower and it blooms throughout the year. So that's all this stuff we're talking about blooming to be great, right? So what does it mean when you think, and you could just put this in the chat, guys, what does it mean for you to bloom? Alea, you start. What does it mean for you when you hear the word bloom? What does that mean?
To me, when I hear bloom, well, of course, the first thing that comes to my head is plants and
Mm-hmm.
flowers and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, makes sense. But I guess I've realized how applicable that is to humans growing.
Mm.
So what I mean when I say that is that first and foremost, it's actually interesting how I feel like in order to grow, both plants and people have to give and take.
Mm.
So
Interesting.
like when plants are growing, so they have to photosynthesize and um, and so they're taking carbon dioxide
This
so
is
they
the
can.
biology and I forgot to tell y'all she's getting a bachelor's in biology and chemistry. Now she's talking to an accountant here. Can you break it down?
Well, yeah. So photosynthesis, it's just how the plants kind of make their food and how they
Right.
sustain themselves.
Right.
So they're sucking all the carbon dioxide out the air to
Right.
nourish themselves.
Right.
But they're also giving out the oxygen, and that's what keeps us alive.
Okay.
So in them, in their growth process, they are keeping themselves healthy. They're nourishing themselves while also pouring into millions of other people. And I feel like that's really important when it comes to us growing. I think growing is a lot of taking into account what I need. What do I
Mm-hmm.
need as a person? Let me make sure I'm taken care of. Let me make sure that I am paying attention
Mm-hmm.
to whether or not I'm nourishing myself. And in doing that, it then allows me to be able to give to others. And I feel like giving is another thing that really helps you to grow as a person. If you can't give, like, where's the growth in that? So like, if you cannot
Awesome
sacrifice,
stuff.
yeah.
Listen, this is powerful. Like somebody, like a personality, a radio personality says here, this is powerful. Very
Oh,
good.
it's
Very
powerful.
good. Yes. We have some comments coming in. Amen, Lay.
Should I do this one?
Yes, you can go do that one.
Okay, Leah is a young Christian woman in the 21st century with clear academic goals and other personal goals. How do you stay focused consistently with so many distractions that young people face?
Awesome question. I hope everybody else heard that. That is an awesome question, John. Thanks for the question.
Um, Consistency is a problem. I'm not going to lie. I'm definitely not always consistent in not being distracted. I get distracted quite often, but I think that something that helps pull me back from the distractions consistently is doing something that I love and care for and understanding the root of it. So,
Mm.
in
Doing something you love and care for.
mm-hmm,
That helps
mm-hmm,
us to stop going and
mm-hmm.
being pulled. That's an important thing. I was going to talk about that later, but I'm glad you said it right now. Keep going.
Yeah, because it's just like I know that me as a person, I can tell you that if I don't care if it's something for real, now I won't just completely throw it away, especially if it's something that needs to be done. If it's something that, like, if it's an assignment, a class, because there are definitely classes that I did not like,
That you don't care
that I
for.
don't care for. I ain't even gonna lie, I
You
don't
don't
care about
love
it.
nor care.
I not care. They could go, and I just be like, but I know that I have a goal that I need to get to.
Mm,
So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna sit down and get it done. So if I'm sitting down trying to study for those classes, I'm like, honestly, I really don't care about this. I'm like, but I care about what I want to be in life. I
mm,
care about the end goal, so I'm gonna get it done.
awesome.
But in terms of something that I'm able to keep more consistent on, when I do care about things, which is why I try to make sure that at the root of the cause, it's something that I care about enough to give the attention it deserves. So if I know that I have, like, Bible study, for example, like, this is just something recently that I've started doing more consistently because I was blessed enough to be in a group with my Bible study by my good friend named Des, and we were just talking about, like, why are you doing Bible study? Why are we even
Mm-hmm.
doing it?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that's a good question because usually, like, previously, I just did it because, like, that's something I feel like we're supposed to do.
And
Like,
that's all you grew up in.
yeah, it's like,
Everybody studied the Bible.
exactly, like, if I want to be a good Christian, I won't go to hell. Let me crack open the Bible for 10 minutes a day and read it. But then they were like, what's the point of doing that if you don't really care for it? You
Mm-hmm.
ain't really doing nothing for real. So, like, when I really sat down and thought about it, why do I do this? I do this because I genuinely love God. I do this because what I learned from the Bible helps me treat others and myself so much better. And when
Mm.
I realized just how, like, beautiful it is, it made me want to do it. So when I'll get excited, I'll sit down for longer periods of time reading it because I'm enjoying it. So that's a way that I think I'd say to stay consistent is being genuine about it. Your intentions, have genuine intentions.
Authenticity
Yeah.
is what is needed in the world today
Mm-hmm.
in every way.
Mm-hmm.
When we have to be authentic with ourselves to say, okay, are we doing this just to check
Mm-hmm.
off something?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is, whether it's studying the Bible, whether it's going on the job,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's taking care of your family, are we doing this just because, or is it something we really want to do,
Mm-hmm.
something we want to use to nourish us and to help us
Exactly.
grow? Wow, I see some other questions. I don't know. This one coming in from Angelica based on Miss Olive's statement. How do we grow out of hiding spaces? I didn't see, did you see Ms. Olive's question? See, we could go down.
I
Oh, here.
oh
Get
yes.
out of your hiding places. Like the flowers was once in a bud. When we bloom, we become attractive to the right
Mm-hmm.
people. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome, Olive. When we bloom, so for me, bloom is what it means to bloom is to flourish, to do well, to prosper, right? And on a personal level, it means to be the best version of yourself. That's what it means. And what you're saying is when we are that, we're attractive to the right people. And then so a follow up to that, Alea, maybe you could see if you can handle this. If not, I will try. Based on that statement, how do we grow out of hiding spaces? Hmm. Now that's the other one. That's the firstborn. Come here to try stump us
Hi, sister.
with these hard questions about how do you
That's
grow out of hiding spaces.
some counselor questions.
Yeah, that's them. Yes, that's the counselor in training on the line. How do we grow out of the hiding spaces? Well, I don't know if this is what you were thinking, but hey, audience, you could get in with the answer in too. But I think one way is to be authentic, like what Alea was talking about. Be authentic and real with ourselves, okay? Because hiding spaces, and when we hide in, well, it depends on the reason for hiding. Eh?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we could be hiding because we're, you see, this could get little go many ways, but we could be
Yeah.
hiding because we're in pain. We could be hiding because we're in shame. That's a whole different thing. And you and if you're hiding, the sun ain't shining. Like if you're thinking about flower and blooming, you don't get the nutrients that you were
Mm.
talking about, and so you're not going to bloom and grow. But how do we get out of those hiding places? I guess my answer would be it depends on the reason why we're hiding. But if I think a good answer is still if we're authentic, if we be real and honest with ourselves and try to get even from ourselves, well, why am I hiding? And why am I not blooming? And try to get answers to those questions. That's one way how we can do it. Um, ah, look at my cousin come here to try take over the show about bloom where you're planted. That's just where I was going. Yeah, you handle those while I try keep on
Okay.
track because it's a lot coming at us. Um, so I wanted to say I read somewhere where it says that blooming is opening up and growing in beauty. I think one of the comments said something about beauty and just rapid growth increase. So what does it mean? Because remember we were talking about bloom to be great. So what does it mean for you when you hear great? Like what does great mean?
Great.
We hear this all the time, but what comes to you when you hear great? Like bloom to be great.
Great.
And what mm-hmm.
So I feel like the great plays off of what I said earlier. Because first you have to start the process. But to be great, I feel like you have to actually take it to the next level. And what I mean by that is
Mm,
you can start something and you can finish something and not really do it well. So I can start a paper. I could write like I could whip something up real quick the night before. I have an essay or something due, and I could be like, I know I could get it done the night before, so I'm gonna just throw it together tonight
mm,
and turn it in tomorrow. And I got it done. I turn it in. The grade could be there, but I might have gotten a B or a C or a D or F. Like
mm,
you, just because I turn it in, like I say, don't mean it's good. You just got it.
mm,
You just got to the end. But if I really cared about that and I'm like, all right, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to pay attention to what I'm doing, I'm going to give it what it needs and what it deserves so that I can get the best outcome possible. To me, that's what it is to be
be
great.
great.
I can
Mm-hmm.
sit down and I could say, okay, I'm going to get here. So I'm going to be, let's say I wanted to be a doctor. Okay, I'll be a doctor. I could go through med school, I could go through residency and take all the boards and whatever and get to where I need to be and still not be a good doctor.
Mm,
But to be great, I've bloomed, I'm already there, but that
mm,
doesn't make me great. Then to be a great doctor is how you relate to your patients. Do you
mm,
genuinely love what you do? Do you genuinely care for your patients? Are you with them on that level? Being are you giving it your all so that that result show like it mirrors that? And to me, that's where the greatness comes in. It's not just,
I love it.
it's the quality, not just the quantity.
Love it, love it, love it. Want to hear from the audience. I see your question, Eddie, but let me just respond to what Alaya said. She said something about, um, to me, what I think I'm hearing is when you say next level, that's what it is to be great.
Mm-hmm.
To be, you know, like you wouldn't settle again
No.
for mediocrity because you could bloom, which is like I say, flourish. But when you take that to the next level, and I would even say this because you talked about the example of a doctor and their patient.
Mm-hmm.
To be great, you have to have a positive impact
Mm-hmm.
on others. I think because you could bloom almost by yourself in a corner.
You
You know
could,
what I
yeah,
mean? You
you
could
could.
flourish, but you could flourish onto yourself in a corner. But when you bloom to be great, whatever, all that flourishing and all that success or whatever you have, you are going to
That can't
use
be
that.
hidden.
It can't be hidden. It's
No.
going to be used in a way, to impact, positively impact others
Mm-hmm.
and for the greater good, which is for to the greater good, um, which is the glory of God, right? Eddie asked the question.
That's right.
Yes. And it says, what is your definition of modern day women compared to old school mentality like you and Lisa? What? Now, Eddie, I don't know what. I don't, old school?
We'll
Eddie,
totally
you got
laugh.
to break that question down, man. I got to come back to that. What you mean modern day versus old school like me and Lisa?
School, school.
You got to break that down. And so break that down while I go to some other comments. I, I try to figure out what you mean, Eddie. I just really don't quite get your question.
Maybe that's kind of like what we're about to talk about, actually.
Maybe come in.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
it's
think that's we kind of gonna touch on something like that
if
soon.
we get there because we don't want beyond the hour, but there's so many questions coming. I don't think I could get through the program. Marlene, I believe that God wants us to bloom where we're planted. Exactly. As a pastor's daughter, you have had to relocate. How easy would you say it was for you to bloom in the new environments, communities your family moved to? We have a problem? Technical. Oh, okay. Um, yeah. So, sorry, I just thought we had technical difficulties. So, Lay, look at some of those while okay. Oh, okay.
More focus.
That's we're having the technical. I see. This is
Mm.
better. Yeah. Well, thank you, technical for manager.
Picking up what you're putting down.
So, um,
What was that question? Was it me? Was it
I think yes.
How would you?
That was Marlene. Let me continue with where we're heading. Um, so I wanted to talk about that bloom where you're planted because that was in it. Dion said it, Marlene said it, and that's a question I want the audience to answer. What's going on there? Why did that go? Okay, gotcha. Um, question to the audience: do you believe that it's possible for us to bloom or for people to bloom every day? Is it possible to bloom every day? Is it possible to bloom in every season? Is it possible to bloom anywhere? Like Marlene said, as a pastor's daughter, you've had to relocate. And, we even lived in Mexico for a season.
Yeah.
We've been on the family islands. You've been in Michigan. You've been places.
Yeah.
What was her question? Something about, oh, okay. Something. Oh,
How
how easy would you say it was for you to bloom in the new environment? So to flourish, to be the best version of you.
Mm-hmm.
Were you always? Because that's the question I'm
Mm-hmm.
asking the audience. What is happening here?
Yeah,
Why can't I see? Okay.
Oh, you mean it?
Yeah, got you. Yes. See, y'all got to be patient with us here. We're still new at this. But go on, answer the question while I look at some of the comments now.
Yeah, no. Like, well, in response to the question of was I always able to flourish, I definitely was not. Um, it was not easy because there are so many. Well, I love the church peoples, hallelujah. Love them. But there are so many personalities. There are so many personalities, so many opinions, so many, just a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot going on.
So would you say that the church personalities and stuff sometimes could stunt your blooming
100%.
process? Is that what I think I'm hearing?
Yeah, 100%. It
Mm,
can. And as it can, as long as I think, especially as
I'll do it.
as long as you especially when you're younger. I think as I got older, I realized that it's up to me whether or not I'm going to allow that to hinder my growth. Because at a certain age, it's like that's life. And it's not just church people. I know a lot of times it's like the see, that's why I don't go to church, because church people are this and that. But like realistically, you're gonna get that anywhere you go.
Mm.
I found the same personalities outside the church as inside the church, and unfortunately, a lot sometimes they can be hard to manage. But I think having a support system, like having the support system that I had, I was very blessed, and I can say that with my chest, to have the family that I have, and then the friends that I have.
Support system.
Literally, no, because it makes the world of a difference when people are making you feel as though nothing you do is good enough, especially
Mercy.
because it's so many different people with so many different opinions as to what I should or should not be doing, what makes me good enough or what makes you not good enough. It can send you crazy. You just be sitting there like, well, I ain't gonna do nothing because I can't please nobody. But then,
Thankfully,
mhm,
your support system tells you that you're
exactly,
supposed to please who?
God, and that's exactly it. Like when you have my parents looking at me like, listen, you don't need to be, don't focus on nobody else. Who are you? And who are you to your God? And after that, if you're pleased with that, then that's all there is to it. And even with them, they're like, we're gonna love you regardless. We don't always have to agree with everything you do. We don't always have to even support everything you do. But you know that you will always have our support in our love for you. And you will always have the people who are also saying the good things. Because if you just zero in on the bad, it's like, what kind of life are you creating for yourself at that point?
Absolutely. Marlene, I think she answered your question. Let me know if she answered. But listen to me, John, you said something. I don't know if y'all saw it in the comments. Sometimes you have to be transplanted. I call it extracted. You have to be extracted and taken away from the distractions
Mm-hmm.
on what is really important. You have to be transplanted another spot, another angle from the sunlight. Exactly. Because sometimes you start dying with all of what you were
Mm-hmm.
saying. And so I guess the question that I had asked earlier, is it possible? I mean, can we bloom every day in every season? I know Ecclesiastes says something, there's a time and a place for everything. Um, and so for me, the answer is I guess not. Because sometimes we have some seasons when we're not blooming, huh? And then we have to start trying to figure out why aren't we blooming? And then we have to go to what it will take for us to bloom. I saw a comment say the tribe, having the tribe, and that's what Lay was talking about, the support system, and sometimes being extracted. Okay, now let me go back to Eddie because I asked Eddie to um, kind of I asked Eddie, I said, Eddie, please clear up what you mean. So Eddie came back trying to clear it up for us. Dots says, women today, because you asked the question, because you say we old school, talking about me and your sister Lisa. And so this is what old school, this is what he meant. Women today not taking care of the home, their education, self-empowerment, triumphs, building the home, hubby, and kids. That's an interesting one. Now, in the context of blooming and great, um, let me see, Eddie. So, in the context of blooming and great, I would say, because see, when you talk about women now, we're different types of flowers,
Mm-hmm.
huh? So you're gonna have, and I think you could bloom as an old school or a modern woman. Really, I don't think, because I'm gonna keep it in this context of blooming to be great. I don't think as a woman you have to be a certain, just one way. to bloom.
Mm-hmm.
What you say, dots?
No, I agree.
Yeah. So I think you can have education and still bloom. I think you can be definitely self-empowered and still bloom and still be great. You could take care of the home and still be great. And you could just, just be a full-time home what's that? Home giver, home taker, homemaker.
Mm-hmm.
Which is home giver, home taker, homemaker, and bloom in that too. So I hope I answered your question, Eddie. Let me see if I have anything. Having a great tribe. Yes, that's what we said. Pleasing God is the ultimate, absolutely, absolutamente,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, Marlene says that sounds tough. I think she's speaking to you, Alea. I know that as members, we can truly be hard on our pastors' families. Marlene, you remember you said you could have me on your show to talk about that one day. That's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be fun. Hmm? Yes, she did a great job. She was very transparent. Awesome, awesome, awesome. There are several processes involved in blooming. It's not just when you see the flower, the
Mm-hmm.
tree blossoms, the blossoms fall off. Absolutely. So you're answering the question, D. You're answering the question. In terms of, is it possible? Because I think sometimes, and especially as a pastoral family or whatever, people expect us to be blooming all the time, right? But I like where you say there are the blossoms fall off, so but it's still a process in the blooming. It's just that, I like that. I like that perspective, and they are all part of the process. Very good. So let me see, boy, we ain't covering much tonight, but it's been fun. Let's see. Um, so let me ask you: would you say, Alea, that right now where you are,
Mm-hmm.
um, that you're blooming to be great.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for me, let me just say, I think that I am in a stage where I am blooming to be great. Why do I say this? Well, part of my story is that I left, not I left, I was called literally
Mm-hmm.
from out of the business world where I was an accountant and working in finance. And I was called to full time ministry, first to minister to my home, then to other family members, then to the church, to the community, then to the community, now to the world. And so, um, and like the audience member just said, Dion, um, it's a process. So I've been blooming, right, along the way. But I think right now I am in full bloom.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in full bloom now that I I'm ministering and have just the different stages of growth in this ministry,
Mm-hmm.
from ministry to like industry to organization. It's just so I guess for me, I would say that when you are walking in your divine calling, when you are on purpose, that's for me what it means to bloom, to be in the greatness of blooming. So for you, let me ask you, as a young flower
Mm-hmm.
budding, um um what would you say, are you blooming to be, are you in, where are you in the blooming to be great process?
Um, I think right now, yes, I am blooming,
Okay, okay,
which
let me
is
hear that. Isn't it
yeah.
beautiful to hear that the young flower is saying that she's blooming, and that's after we talked about what it means. So let
Yeah.
me hear why you're blooming in this moment.
So I think that especially this year, because I do think that for a hot minute I was just sort of chilling. Like I didn't really care to grow because I
Mm,
was like, I ain't really being no bad person. So like it is what it is. I'm fine here. It was just like I'm fine here. And there were
mm.
also external reasons as to why I was just like, I'm really into that.
That would be called settling. I think you were
Yeah.
just settling. I'm fine here.
Yeah. Like I just
Mm,
didn't really I didn't really care to grow,
mm.
to like grow, because I'm like
Mercy.
it doesn't make a huge, I was like, is it really gonna make a huge difference, or like it just wasn't even on my radar. But
Mm,
then recently with a lot of just there's just been a lot of things that went on in my life that set things into motion to where I'm interested in becoming a better person. So
Mm.
I'm interested in seeing where I could go if I try my hardest towards the things that I want, towards the things that I need and or love. And then I was also interested in allowing myself the space to be the best that I'm like, I'm worth it. And like that's the thing. I'm like, I'm worth it. Like
Are you hearing that out there? You're worth it.
yeah, like
That's a key
mhm,
in blooming, is knowing that you're worth it.
mhm,
And so why settle for mediocrity when you're worth it,
mhm,
when there's greatness in you?
mhm,
And that's one of my keys.
mhm.
Why settle for mediocrity when exceptionality is what we were created for? You're worth it. Go on. I'm about to preach.
But yeah, and it just I think when in starting to really just allow myself to fully be open and to the reception and giving of love and being just like happy, like just being like, yeah, I'm gonna just let that happen. And it's
Mm.
not always gonna be easy to love people. It's not even always happy to choose to. It's I mean easy to choose to be happy because sometimes it's easier to be pissed. It's easier to be sad.
It's
Like
easy to be what?
to be pissed.
That's the scientific word.
That's it.
Pissed.
To be alright.
To be
I right.
I right.
All right.
Okay.
It's easier to be mad. It's easy to be sad. Even like because honestly, sometimes when you sad, it takes a lot to get out of that. It's like I'll wait for it to go. I'm not gonna do anything to help myself. But like in learning to just really be open to love and happiness and stuff, it's like yeah, this is great. Like even when it's hard, it's great.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Look, so many comments are flooding in. Um, John says women are monolithic. Diversity are not monolithic. Diversity is good. This is, I think, referring to Eddie. Blooming in your individuality, absolutely, and purpose in God is an amazing thing. Woohoo! Absolutely. Different flowers, different processes, different time spans. Oh boy, excellent, but the end result is growth and abundance. Woohoo! Fully agree, agree, agree. Let's see. Blooming should be a state of being. I like that. I like that. Love it, love it, love it. What else do we have here? Settling with yourself is a whole different topic. Mm, that's from the daughter who is away. Exactly. Most people only talk about settling with romantic relationships, and that's a disservice. We got to talk about that on another day. Daughter, maybe I'll have you on that one. Here we go. Blooming begins with the parents. I'm gonna stop here for a minute. Circle here, Linda. It begins with the parents because this is something what we were gonna talk about. Alaya. You remember we were gonna
Mm-hmm.
talk about that. So let me finish reading Linda's because she's taken the program. You're progressing the program on, Linda. Program blooming begins with the parents. We flower from the watering that's started from seeds, whatever parents instills in children. I get what you're saying, Linda. And I had that here in my notes somewhere. um how does basically I was basically asking, how does society, home and friends impact our ascent to greatness or descent from greatness? And so that's talking about parenting. You have
Mm-hmm.
anything to say about that while I try to move this program on, because I want to finish
Mm-hmm.
on time and at a decent time in the next 10 maybe 15 minutes.
Uh-huh.
So you got something to say?
Yeah, I do think in terms of just being great, everyone has an like an impact. Now, I'll speak from my experience because I can't speak for everybody. So, from my family, like people who I know have made me great. I think of my aunts, my auntie Joe, who's on here. I think she's probably still on,
She
but
is.
she has literally, since we were children, like she's let us help with her school. She has a daycare seasons learning center center
Center.
school, and it's an amazing school. Just a little
Just a little plug, a
little
little plug.
promo, but she let us, and especially because she knew how much I liked kids and stuff, she would let us come in and help work with the kids, of course with supervision always. We always had the teachers and everything, we were just helping out, but like she would let us help and she would let us train to learn how to work with children, to learn how to, she trusted us enough to with the task of assisting with that. And that helped me grow. And like now I'm literally have my own camp. And
Awesome.
I am never,
That's mentorship. She did
yes,
some great mentorship.
like I don't feel scared to take care of children. I feel like this is something I know because this is something I've been taught, and she helped me to grow great enough to literally put have my own like that's something that I think is I was like, this is so cool when I thought about it, because
Yeah.
it's like I saw it progress from child to something where I'm like, I'm now running my own
Business.
business.
Your own
um
awesomeness.
my other aunt, my auntie Net, she's like she showed me what it is to see a woman in power, like who was
Mm.
able to excel in their
Leadership and
job.
legacy.
Literally, like she,
That's a part of the chapter of the book that I just wrote in. My chapter, I cut you off, but I can let you talk. I know the audience probably saying, now you, Yellow Elder, be quiet. So just give me a minute. Um, what I'm saying is, when you talk about leadership and legacy, and I want
Mhm.
you to pick up with Auntie, that's a powerful chapter in the book that I was going to touch on tonight. I don't know if we're going to have time, but maybe I'll do it quick in my wrap up. Go on. Anyway, leadership and legacy. Go on.
But yeah, she
She
just
showed you. She was
how to
another.
be a leader and how to lead. And then you, in terms of, I know, I'll jump in a little bit, just a little bit,
Go where you want to
and
go.
in terms of
Go where the spirit leads.
because one of the questions were just like how we parallel each other and stuff.
Ah, go on. Wherever
And
you go.
when my like favorite compliment that I've ever gotten in life ever came from my brother Jared. Now he's not a blood brother, he's the brother that I chose. So he spoke to my mommy for the first time, and he was like, "Oh, you have her." She was like, "You have her spirit," and that made me so happy. I was literally so happy when I heard that. Was my favorite compliment ever, because like when I think of like a blueprint of a woman who I want to be, it's literally my mommy. Like she's like no, yeah, she's a like the blueprint of what I want to be, and who's taught
Hallelujah.
me, and she's taught me how to be, like she has helped me learn to be great financially. She's provided so much financial advice that I don't think a lot of people usually always get from their parents. I was so grateful for that. But just in
And
being,
I learned that stuff. I learned not just from business school, but hard knocks. So I had to pass on, wisdom. So go on.
and so in that, but also in like being like as a person, um, in terms of being kind, being patient,
Oh.
being gentle, being Christ like there's just a lot that my I've learned from my mom. Um and of course, like in terms of how we parallel each other, we definitely have our differences. We
Like
have like there's definitely I know I'm probably a bit less traditional.
sugar, spice, everything nice.
Yeah.
No, but she is, like she's about to say, go on, less traditional.
Yeah, just a bit less traditional. Or like, yeah, just
Just a
different.
just a
Yeah.
tad bit. Little differences of.
Okay, child. And I probably get more of
But
like,
again, I gotta cut in. That's what makes the garden so beautiful. Imagine if it was all roses or
mhm.
all daisies. Huh? Go on. And that's
Yeah.
what I always try to tell everybody. Look at daddy.
No, because I was about to talk about you, Daddy. No, and I ain't just saying this because you say it. I was getting to you. I was getting to you because
We can't forget the what.
I was gonna say I probably get a lot more of my like my chill side. I think I'm more chill, probably.
Yes.
I think out of all three of us, me, Angelica, and Asha, I'm probably the most like laid back, maybe. I think Asha and Gel got a bit more of your like firiness,
Fire and
little
spice.
fire. And it's like mine is kicking when it ready. But I think naturally I'm more like Daddy, where I'm just like, all right, bro, like I ain't really care that much. Like if it's something I feel is pressing, I'm like, all right, I'll deal with it. But me and Daddy are similar, and just we just really lay it back, and it's just like it's all right.
Awesome, awesome. Look, this is so much fun. And I saw some comments. I saw somebody saying, where is it? So happy to hear you talk. All young women need to hear this. That's what Krish is saying. Krish, share it. Share it on Facebook. Everybody who's on here, just share it. We just want to inspire, encourage, and empower, motivate. So When you come on, just share, tag in your friends, let us know we're on, so more people can hear it. What else? Oh, she really does. Oh, thanks, Meeks. You're seconding. I
Oh.
don't know if that's a word. What you said about me having a good spirit. Thank you, thank you. Um, don't forget, honey, we could never, ever. There is no ship without you on it, in it. Seriously. And how rewarding to hear, yes, we got you. That's right, Jill. We got you, dads. And then how rewarding to hear your children speak so positively. I am humbled and blessed. And okay, now, meet, sure am. Oh, thank you, thank you. Now it is, wow, 9 o'clock, and I want to be on. Y'all got to come on 8 o'clock on the dot. I like some time. You should see I be having everybody in here. Let's go, let's go. It's time to roll. So, um, let me see. How am I gonna wrap this up? We're gonna have to do a part two. You game?
Yeah.
We're gonna have to do a part two. Hopefully, y'all would join us for a part two because there's so much we wanted to talk about. But let me just wrap this up. Like I was saying, uh, this lovely book project that I had spoken about last week. I'm just so excited, proud, honored to be a part of this book project. The book was launched, Yellow Elders, and it's inspirational stories about women. Um, excuse me, I spoke about perseverance and resilience, and I spoke about it just after suffering the loss of my mom and having to go through depression and anxiety as really a motherless child, really. Um, and my dad was there, and later on, my father remarried, but just without having mommy there. And so you definitely want to check this book out because, like Alaya said, she spoke on leadership and legacy. You heard Eddie; he spoke about his sister Lisa. That's one of my besties for life. I got a few of them. That's one of them, and she wrote a powerful chapter on leadership and legacy. In fact, there was something I wanted to talk about. You brought that up. You see how the Lord look, because you talk about the temperament, the polar opposites. Because in Lisa's chapter, she said, "My mother's temperament and nature were a polar opposite of mine." And so the question for me to the audience would have been, can anybody else identify with maybe your mom being um, one way and you being another way, like the complete opposite end? And how did that help or hinder you in blooming? But, um, you know, it's over just. Eddie say, it's over. I just got my popcorn. Eddie, I don't know if you were here right at 8 o'clock, but yeah, we could go a few more minutes, but it's over already. Oh, stop it. Now look at y'all trying to get us here. And then, well, that's some good feedback. I like that. John, yes, part two. Excellent. Enjoyed the discussion. Thanks, Leigh and Beverly McMillan Williams. God bless you and the family. God bless you as well, John D, Dr. Shay, and Dr. J. Yes? Awesome, awesome, awesome. But we're going to talk more. We have some real good stuff to talk about. So we have to have a part two. And then keep listening because I want some of the authors from the book to come on and continue some of these heavy discussions. I reached out to one of the co-authors. She talks about femininity.
Mm.
Mm,
Mm.
I think that's going to be an interesting
Yeah.
one, and how we bloom as women. And I love. She talks about self love, and just to give you all a little teaser, um, she talks about how she walks on the shores of the Bahamas, on our beautiful shores, 242, and she's in her bikini. And I think she says at 350 pounds,
As
how
she
she
should. As
celebrates.
she should.
And I'm like, that's my girl.
As she
I love
should.
that. So y'all would love this book. Love it. This was great. Awesome. Thank you guys for the feedback. Linda, thank you for being. Linda, I think you were the first one in. I think Joan is saying thanks. You came late, Betsy, but enjoyed it. Y'all come back next week. Next week is not going to be the part two. I already have someone scheduled in. Mental Health Month. Y'all know I am a mental
Yeah.
health advocate. Last year I had we had this awesome 2 day virtual event unveiling naked truths about mental health. Come back next week. It's going to be exciting. We're talking to the professionals
Yeah.
and we're going to get some questions asked. In fact, I'm going to relate it to blooming because I can't wait to ask her about unaddressed issues and unresolved traumas,
Mhm.
unhealed wounds, and how that impacts blooming
Mhm.
and being great. And then I have some other nice questions for her. But NT ways. Uh, Wendy is saying, good stuff, Dion. Excellent. Joan says, what did Joan say? I can't see from
You already
there.
read that one
So I
already.
did.
Mm-hmm.
Just came a few minutes ago, missed most. That's okay. You can catch it on Be Will Inspires YouTube channel. There's the replays of all, right? Of
Yeah.
all the banter with Babs. You can binge on them on a Sunday. And so that's okay. What else? Mendy, love the topic. We're gonna do a part two, so y'all have to listen out for part two. And just like flowers, people bloom at different times. Excellent. The world would be dull place if we all bloomed at the
Yeah.
same time. Woo-hoo! Exactly. Enjoy the family. Awesome. So here's it. Here's it. I have daughter. I was privileged and honored.
Mm.
See, twins and triplets. Gel, we're imagining you're here.
Mm.
So
Sticker in there.
yeah, stick you right here, Gel. So listen, um, here's the takeaway. I believe that no matter where you find yourself today, you can bloom, right? That's what I want you, no matter where you find yourself. And that's what you basically got. Just said LOL. You can bloom. Joy, I'm glad you're looking forward. I'm glad you're looking forward. You can bloom. You can choose to make the best out of every circumstance that you're in and rise above whatever it is to be your best self, to be the best version of yourself, to come to the world in this great place of power, in this great, despite what's going on, because of who we are and whose we are, there's greatness in us, right? um we use our gifts and our talents and our resources to impact the world in a positive way. Maya Angelou, this is a quote I like. She says, you may not control all the events that happen to you, but you can decide to not be reduced by them. Hmm? These are the takeaways. So decide to rise to the occasion of being great and showing up for yourself. Huh? And then also, she also says, whatever you want to do, if you want to be great at it, this is important, and this is something you mentioned early on. You didn't even know I had this. If you want to be great at it, you have to love it. Isn't that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
You have to love it and be able to make sacrifices for it. So ask yourself the question as you go. Ask yourself the question, am I maybe not being the great person that I was created to be because I'm doing something I don't love to do? Am I not being the great person I'm supposed to be because maybe I'm not making the sacrifices that I need to make? Just something as you go. I just know that God wants each of us to do something phenomenal. Something phenomenal he wants us to do, right? So just sometimes we just got to get out of his way so he could do what he wants to do. Now, that's it. I want to say though, in terms of announcements, check out our website, bewillinspires.org. I'll have a weekly blog there. That's where you'll find announcements on everything that's happening with Be Will Inspires. It's new. It's a little baby in the works, but you got to check us out there, right?
Yeah.
That's where you can purchase the book that I talk about, Yellow Elders. That's where you'll find the book that I'm working on. That's where you'll find information on unveiling naked truths that's coming up, the mental health special. You can also, so you go to bewillinspires.org. You can also find me on Beverly Macmillan Williams on Facebook. Every week I have some empowering and inspiring reels on Wednesday. So you can check me out there. You can follow, subscribe, like on Facebook. I have a Be Will Inspires Facebook page,
Mm-hmm.
on YouTube. What
Mm-hmm.
else? I'm just trying to,
You there? You there?
yeah, you're there. Just trying to get it all out. So thanks again to my co-host,
You're
Alaya.
welcome.
It was fun. It
Thank you
was
for
fun.
having me.
You're welcome. You got to get back. Look, you hit it, you hit it, you hit it. Um, and let me read just a few more. Sonia Miller say, Lord, I just reached. That's okay. You could watch the replay. Be Will Inspires. Doris, we'll watch the rest later. Got you. Ain't much more from here, Doris. It started at 8 p.m. So yes, it started at 8 p.m. Okay, honey, we'll do excellent. So all I have to say is God did not create you for mediocrity, but for exceptionality. Greatness is in you, and great things is what you do. Now go be great. Have a good week. Bye, Krish.
Bye.
Love you guys. It's been good.